So that's the inside of that. I had these, there's one of them here. I had these brass pins driven in, but they just didn't hold well. So I found some stainless split pins that I use on another project and drove those in. Anyway, here's that side. A lot of this box is going to have to be replaced in sections. It feels pretty thin down here, for example. Here are the, let me turn the light on. Here are some whiskers from some MIG welding, previous when this was plated in. This is the frame itself, so now you can see this is going to have to be dealt with. Now I can get in there and clean that mouse stuff out really well. This end looks a lot better. The metal looks thicker all around, but I'll have to bang on it with a hammer to make sure I've got a good place to weld to. You can see this plate was put on here at some time. And the rail is holding up just fine. The welded in brace. So here it is. Here's the rail. It's interesting how you can see this is the back end. Pieces were just kind of put in there from this side. Nothing to be done here because this is all in the recess. And here's the real rotted area here that you can see is pretty bad. There is my shoe for comparison. So this is all going to go. And I feel I've really turned a corner now at this point. And I got a hold of the steel for the side rails. Yes, here they are. Gonna cut them to length in my horizontal bandsaw. Maybe even angle them. They did turn out to be 4 inches by 3 inches OD by 3/16, which is 188. They're a little wider down here because there's a burr on here and it makes it like 1/4 inch. So these are going to be the nice new strong rails that are going to go in. That looks pretty close. 3, maybe 4 to go in. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm kind of concerned that this isn't as long as I'd like it, but gotta trim this off anyway. Let's see what we've got here. Nice. Gotta be right about there. So here's a technique that I've shown you before, which is you take the cardboard and you rub it with a piece of aluminum, and it makes an impression of what's underneath and gives you a very precise pattern. Cut that out with scissors and then trace it onto your piece of steel. And this works great because you don't measure, you don't do any math. You just bring the cardboard up to what it is you need to use. I've been using soapstone as a marker. That's the white line. I tried the silver Sharpie, and the silver Sharpie, the tip got clogged instantly because these are so dirty. And the black Sharpie seemed to be a little bit more visible, but nothing was as good as the soapstone marker. And the other thing about soapstone is it doesn't melt if you torch it along the line or you grind along the line. There's that right front wheel. Here's the box. This seems to be in a lot better shape. It's even doubled up on the bottom. And then over here, someone has welded in a nice plate there. So this looks a lot better. I don't think I'm going to have to do a lot of reconstruction here, but I'm going to do some. The upper part is in much better shape. So here's the frame, getting ready to paint it. I'm scratching it using a little electric sander and I think 60 grit sandpaper just to roughen it up so that the paint will have, as they say, some teeth to it. Right now it's pretty smooth, and this is going to help that. I've gone to using a good face mask. I think this has charcoal filters in it. So easy to breathe in stuff and have it end up in your lungs, and that's not good. Wiping it down with acetone just to take the dust off and any residual grease. Not going crazy trying to get this down to bare metal, just getting it to where it's going to accept paint. Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer, the reddish stuff. Had a can of that. And that's what I'm going to do with this. And then I don't show it here, but this was then, these side rails and some of the other parts of the chassis were painted with Rust-Oleum Satin Black, which I think is a pretty good match. So there it is. There are 6 holes on top for the nuts that go in. There's the other side. And feeling pretty good about this. Looks good. Here I am working on the body. I've taken the chassis off the lift, put the body up on the lift, and there are 2 holes in this channel. You can see how big the channel is. The channel of this car actually forms another frame. And it's fairly thick, and also it's galvanized. So I don't know, I would bet these channels are not on the sedan or the wagon, but they would be on the convertible, because there's no roof strength on a convertible. You need extra strength. So anyway, I'm cutting this piece out. It was the same rot on the other side of the car. This is on the driver's side, just about where your left foot would be. Once again, using the cardboard rub method to get a very precise copy of the shape of the hole that I have to fill. There's a piece of aluminum that I use. You can see also in this shot that I'm supporting the sides of the car with 2x4s. I've strengthened the 2x4 with some 3/4 plywood up there, and I did this because I tried to lift the body earlier, and I actually did damage to the body, to the fenders, because right where that one support is that's in the foreground, that was lifting on the fender, not lifting on the body. So these 2x4s with plywood are lifting the car, and to keep them from sliding out, I've actually screwed them to the car in a couple of places with wood screws, just to make sure they don't slide sideways. I'm not worried about them going up or down, but sideways was a little bit of a concern. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.